Hello, hello. Yeah. I'm playing the shit out of this. Next month's rolling out. Killing Puerto Rico gonna be popping.
What was that? Looks like a Neurothorn placed on Overwatch inside that building. Turrets! Let us thin their numbers. They never learn. Sir, have you faced a Neurothorn before? I have. A tricky adversary.
Like fucking nerds. Oh, for fucking, I came across this one thing I was listening to in short. Talk about whey protein. This doctor, whatever, saying, you know what whey protein is, right? It's the milky substance that we get after you make the cheese. I'm like, okay. And he was saying, and people think that it recovers you and adds actual real protein.
Resupplying.
Well, it covers the cheese, but then you have to.
They will not get past this. Clear the area. For the Emperor. Be ready to move. Changing magazine.
But yeah, and I was thinking about that, and I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, they made some cheese that. And the guy was just saying like, oh, it's not real protein or whatever it is. Like it's coming, like I said, it's coming from fucking cheese, bro. Like yeah, it's coming from milk products. It has aminos in it and that.
Varellus! Is that you? Chiron! Bless the Emperor. It's good to see you. Where's your squad? Gone. Neurothroat tore them to pieces. We need to get across the bridge. Lieutenant, nothing gets across with that beast up there. What are we up against? It has its rear covered and we do not have the manpower to break through. The Cadians are holding the bridge, at great cost. Set up assault positions by the bridge. We'll deal with the Neurothroat. Very well. We will avenge them, brother. Watch yourself. What's our theoretical?
Yeah, like I was just
A
sitting
direct
there
assault on the rear guard.
listening to this. I looked it up in that.
You doubt our ability, brother? No,
There's so
sir.
many people out
Good.
there.
Let us choke them with their own blood.
Trying to inject all this way protein. Fuck them guys shooting at me. And they're saying that doesn't work. I go through a lot of whey protein and I have to. That's only like 30% of my protein. So you eat what you are. So if you maintain a gram per body mass per pound, you're always going to build muscle. Probably more likely guaranteed to build muscle constantly. For some people, I might eat 100 and something grams throughout the day. Probably like 120. The rest of it's going to be either protein or like, if I get lucky enough to get it at 150. Like right now, I'm in like a recovery phase. I'm actually fucking really tired. When your body doesn't feel like, if it feels off, you have to eat more. So switch stance by pausing for a moment and then R1. Oh. But yeah. Do you think it's all about, it's sleeping combined with the max amount of nutrients you can eat for that day? That's why I like protein shakes. If I can take like 2 or 3 scoops of protein before I go to fucking bed, I can get like 50 something grams of protein in my body net while I'm about to go to sleep. My combination, if I could eat 25% of my protein before I go to the gym, which I would say would be about 50 grams, give or take. 50, 60 grams, which I'm currently pretty much at. After my protein bar, I'll be a little bit over. I'll be like in like 70s. I have my carbs for pretty much today. I probably like maybe 15, maybe 20 grams of protein. I eat biscuit and gravy, not with gravy and sausage in it. Oh, that's about 10 to 15 grams of protein. No, I'm actually almost at 100. I just had 3 fish, and they're probably at least 18 each. Give or take. Even at the bare minimum of 15. That's 45, 15, that's 60. This is 20. Yeah, because there's some days I wake up, I'm just fucking exhausted. I'm like, I should be exhausted waking up. Well, I wasn't actually exhausted today. I was exhausted from, yesterday. Because of the new job opportunity that came up. Now it's starting to settle in. I have no worries in that. Because I don't think he's been texting me that there's like nothing going on right now until later on today. So basically what I'm getting at. He works for a rental company. And they send him out cars. He picks a spot. I guess he rents. Like a parking area that he rents from the mall area where we live at. And he knows when they come back. He knows when they go out. So in between coming back and going out, he has to clean them. And most times people fill up their own gas, evidently, because they probably tell them, like, hey, you take care of your own gas because you're using it. Oh, wherever I be. And my job is to basically keep it clean. That's it. It's not difficult. The difficult part is getting there and knowing when they get there. So, like, just to say, like, for instance, if a car goes out immediately, I can leave the key there. You got a little lockbox. I'll leave the key in the lockbox. Whatever it is. But if the car doesn't leave, and just to say, like, I'm at work, and then they say someone wants to pick it up at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, well, fuck, bro, I'm at work. I can literally go up there. And that's the problem, is I have to, like, when I'm going up to the gym around 2 or 4 o'clock, before I go to work, I can go up there, drop it in the lockbox, and then leave. But we already got our Cash App thing connected. So more or less likely, he's going to be paying me. I want to sit those up front, like give me like $100 something like that. Well, at least have my mind's gonna be set on, okay, I can fully trust you. So I know the guy for a couple of years now. He comes a lot. He's very cool and that. He's very nice and that. He's very helpful. I just told him, just like, if this business opportunity becomes something really big and that, and just to say, you pay me, if you're giving me like $700-800 a fucking week, and you can finally trust me, then the chances are I probably will quit my fucking job. And I said, I'd rather go through the company now and get something through that and just do a partnership with him and just say, hey, no, this is my partner and I'm having him come on and help me out. And then the company's gonna be paying me, regulating me through that. Hey.
Hey, we're going to Subway. Do you want anything?
Fuck, what is it to get at Subway?
All your sandwiches.
What? I know that, but they change their menu around a lot.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, they got like a box your dad gets, got everything on it.
Okay, go ahead and give me that. Just give me a 6-inch, because I already ate, and that'll be a good, like, another wave of protein.
Okay, 6 inch. You want what other vegetables you want on it?
Give me, banana peppers, of course, the lettuce, olives, you know the normal stuff I normally get. The lettuce, olives, and give me that sweet onion sauce.
Okay.
And then give me a provolone cheese.
Provolone cheese. All right, gotcha.
Okay, thank you, Mom. Okay, bye-bye. I love my family. My dad's favorite, so that's what makes it funny though. I'm almost done eating my protein bar. I'm waiting for shit to happen. I gotta walk around, move around, get the blood flowing and that. I usually why during my streams and that I talk at the beginning of that, and then I start playing the game and shit. There's really nothing to play. I haven't beat Space Marines. That's what I'm going through. I actually do like it. Storyline is pretty cool. The Ultramarine is actually nice. I just gotta make sure I can recover enough. So when I start doing this stuff, like it's gonna be a lot of like cardiovascular work. The thing is, I could probably do after work too. Because if a car comes in the morning time and that, and I have the keys on me and that, just in case it does happen like that, I can just leave right after work to be closer. It'd be like 15-minute walk. I can go up in there, put the keys in the damn thing. And just have the way the guy's talking, he's talking like it's really easy. I know it's simple and that, but like, it's always the little details that people miss out on, and it kind of fucks you over. Not like okay, no, I know very little about cars. I know about oil and all the fluid and that shit. Cause that's the main thing you worry about. I know how to check that, if not change it myself. So I guess I do know a little bit, but I don't have one myself. I'm thinking I'll get one of those little electric scooters. To tell you the truth, I saw one kid drive around there. Dude literally was going like 8 to 10 miles an hour on a little electric scooter. He's just zooming away with it. I'm like, I need to get me one. I'm gonna look up one of them. I don't know how long they'll last. If they can last for like 3 or 4 hours, now I'll just plug in my fucking wall. I mean, why not? The only problem is like getting to where I need to go. I have to take a side street. Get up to my side street and that I have to like pick it up and walk it across things and that, which I know it doesn't weigh that much. I have to get used to like picking it up and then probably carrying shit. Yeah.
What was the sauce? I'm sorry.
It'd be sweet onion.
onion?
Yeah, sweet onion.
Sweet onion. Oh, okay, that is. Okay, duh.
No, you're good.
Okay, nice. All right.
Okay, bye. Plug in my earbuds. But yeah, if he starts giving me money in that, I'm definitely gonna be knocking my hours down. Cause like these people need to start fucking working now. I'm not gonna. The way I work it, I like helping people out when they need it, and that's why I told my assistant manager, and I told I think I told the whole management team honestly, because I told one of them, and they're gonna relay in that. Because I came into something that's gonna probably end up making me more money in that. But I'll keep this job for the time being until things start perking up. Because I can't rely on just, I have to rely on laws and rules. I can't rely on just trust with people and that. Not saying I can't trust this guy in that, but I want to make sure 100% like every week I'm getting my money. Because, it's sometimes it takes time to get a job. And since I already got one that, and I'm doing really well, they need to be there because fucking no one wants to work and everybody's quitting. Because other people are getting like one lady quit because she got management position, she got promoted, and she probably made more money. And she just said, "Fuck it, I'm done. I don't need to work this job." And other people are struggling with certain things and not trying to do things and that. And I'm just like, well, like I don't mind doing the job I'm doing. The money's set up really nicely, but I'm definitely not going to work both because it's the fucking time frame, and like that's what I'm having problems with. Because he gives me messages. All the cars seem to come back later on in the evening. They come back like close to nighttime, and then they most likely pick them up in the morning time. But sometimes they'll say that their stuff's ending, but they'll renew it for another day or two or whatever it is. They'll renew for another week. And that's one thing he's telling me. He's like, it doesn't matter how much you work at it, you're always going to get paid. He's like, I'm going to scale you $500 a week. It's $24,000 a year. You might not have to do much. You might have to just go in now and maybe do like 10 cars a week and check on stuff and then do all the stuff. And other than that, honestly, you just do your normal stuff. So I have to calculate how much money I'm going to be able to lose from Taco Bell, where I work at now, and calculate how much money I'm going to gain from this and see if it matches. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have more money, period. Because my ass, honestly, if I wanted to, I could literally just quit my job and just do this. Because I wouldn't have to do anything. Literally, I would have to go up there every now and again when I needed to, and it'd be on my time. And that's one thing I'm kind of honestly curious about, because like getting paid $2,000 a month, and I'm basically sitting at my fucking house all damn day and just waiting for shit to happen. And then if I buy one of those electric scooter things, I can just ride up there in like 5-6 minutes, give or take, and then I can do what I have to do in that, and then I can just go fucking home. And I can rest the whole fucking damn day and still get paid. Like, that's crucially a wonderful job. But I don't want life to be easy for me. So, I'm going to have to keep myself stable. It's kind of like a dream come true type stuff and that. No, praise the Lord Jesus for this. I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. I talked about that. So I've been waiting multiple decades for a job opportunity that can be, a business exchange between someone that's actually helpful that I know that's going to fucking pay me. And the first sign is he tested out. He gave me a test dollar on my stuff and that. So I'm just like, okay, I can at least trust he's going to be able to do it. But fully, I need to have it. And I talked about it. I was like, I want a full thing with it. He's like, if I fully do this, it's like, oh, well, you can go through the company and all that stuff and that, and then they'll take out taxes and all that shit and that. Because if I just get paid cash, I don't mind it. Because what they don't know, the government can't take. So if I sit there and that, and I was making like thousands of dollars a month or whatever it is, I only need to put in so much of my savings. And honestly, I wouldn't even do that. I put it into my Edward Jones because I just keep cash on me. I might throw like a couple thousand in my savings. I just leave it in there so I can use my card and that, so I know not to use my cash. But going through Cash App, it's already connected. So I can be able to just transfer it out whenever I want to, and it doesn't get taxed because it's it's a banking system. It's a balance system to where the taxes don't go through. People just share money with each other. But the funny thing is, because someone's paying taxes on that money anyway. They're gifting me money and that, so it doesn't count. But I want to pay taxes just a little bit, just to maintain the flow of cultural decency, because some people have to pay. No one paid taxes and that. There's a lot of things that wouldn't really work too well in that. There's a lot of state funded stuff that we need to have, and federal funded stuff that we actually need to have to a certain extent. It's just how we critique it. I think my shit's almost here. Waiting for boobies. That's what's shitty about it. Like, when I think about my ex and that, she could have just waited for me to get another job, and then like all this stuff would have happened anyway. And then she could have joined in on this as a girlfriend boyfriend thing, and we could have made all kinds of fucking money together, and she would fucking have stuff that she wanted. I told her to wait. I was just thinking to myself in that, like, I just lost my job, and that just like, I basically just like chill out. Just like people say that when the going gets tough, women tend to just disappear because they want everything to be part of like the fantasy world and that. And it's not even saying all women, evidently. But I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, and I'm like, girl, like, you could have just fucking waited. Like, you just sat there and you wanted everything so fast because you have no fucking patience. Like, you're fucking stupid. All you had to do is wait. And literally now, like 2 months after, because it was March when I lost my job. And in March, April, May, June. It's June. Basically been like, oh no, it wasn't March when I lost my job. I think it was April when I lost my job. It's literally only been, what, a month and a half since I lost my job? And now money's coming in fast. Now I'm about to get another thing and get more money coming in. And like, and I'm just sitting there like, you're fucking stupid. Like, are you for real? I'm like, you're sitting there literally, no one's gonna give you that respect. Like that one dude that she was talking to today, he works at a Toyota factory now, and she was talking about what he's like, oh, he makes like $36 an hour or something. Like, oh, so he makes $36 an hour now. So he makes, you know, a little bit more a night. You know, he makes about double what I make an hour. Like, okay. But how much money's going out? How much money's actually coming in? I don't think anyone ever looks at that shit. And no one ever looks at what's coming in, what's going out. So if he's spending probably half of his fucking money, more than half his money to pay all these bills off of that, and he's probably left with maybe like $500-$600 at the end of the month on that. What's the difference between me? Nothing. I actually save more than he does. Yeah, like. That's how I really look at it. So I make close to $2,000 a month, and I had to spend probably maybe $600. I save really $1,400 every month. I might spend maybe $600 because it depends on when I get paid. So stuff overlaps. Like I got all my stuff. I got a big old thing of protein. I got pre-workout. I got enough pre-workout for the next paycheck. And like it adds up like that. And that's what I'm curious about. I'm like, if you're smart with your money and that, people always say, the richest people always say, invest $100 every paycheck like it's nothing. So you invest $200 a month. That turns into $2,400 a year. You do that shit constantly. You know, you work from 18 to 20. You won't even know the money even goes out. You just sit there and keep it doing it. And you can always add more. You don't want to think about it. Like say, when I make money in that, I don't think about spending that. I literally just have it. I look at my account like, oh, I got numbers. Like I still got a $20 tip. I completely forgot about it until I mentioned it. Like it just popped in my head from someone. I got like $20, $30 worth of change. Oh, a new skill thing. Okay. Hit 500? What the fuck? This makes sense. Okay. Let's go into a tournament thing. I can. What the fuck kind of equipment do I even have? He just gave me a whole bunch of mythical equipment. What the fuck? Are you serious? That's that's retarded. That thing's holding on for 13 fucking minutes. Dude, that's fucking insane. I don't know. Almost there. But yeah, it's just like when you're younger than that, get a job, focus on your work. It all depends on what you focus on. Focus on your work and that. Work hard, get your shit done, go home, have all the entertainment fun at home. Like you can talk about stuff and that, but this is the biggest problem that I've noticed with myself and that and with others. When I was younger, I put so much emotion into fucking everything. I wanted everyone to fucking like me because I had no confidence in the skills that I had. I'm always looking at myself and be like, well, I should look like this. I should look like Arnold Schwarzenegger walking around like, oh, that's why he gets all the stuff. It's not why he gets all the stuff. He worked to that position. He worked hard as fuck because he maintained focus. Just like anybody else. You maintain focus on things you want to do in that, you will be having greatness happen to you. It always happens like that. And, it's a hard structure to maintain because of how society is. People's society is like, oh, you can't do it, you can't do that. I say, anyone can do anything if their mind's put to it. If you look at nowadays, there's fuckload of people going on trend. Everyone's becoming bodybuilders. You get all these fucking kids and that. They come in out of nowhere on social media and that. And they're all jacked fucking monsters of men. And like the men like me that sit there, some of these guys, they get physiques in 6 fucking months or a year. And someone like me, they get jacked out physiques being at like 10% to 6% body fat. You're all like, what the fuck, guys? Like, you guys are coming out of nowhere. And you're saying, I'm fucking natural. You got 20-inch arms. The average man, especially at certain like heights and that, they're not gonna have 20-inch fucking arms. My arms got 20 fucking inches. I got probably maybe like 14.5 to 15-inch arms. Like, you guys are just making up shit. Like, and they walk around and they're like, oh, they look like fucking big ass fucking gorillas and shit. And you're just sitting there like, just to make fucking money in that and then sell a whole bunch of crap and saying I'm helping people. Like, bro, man, fuck you, man. No one wants to listen to you juice, and that's why you gotta keep out the thing. I don't juice. And you see them juice, you see them go on gear, they gain like 30 pounds of fucking muscle, and they go off gear and they lose 30 pounds of muscle. They shrink dramatically. Losing 30 pounds of muscle, bro, like, that's not good for your heart. You're constantly gaining all that muscle and losing it, gain all that muscle and losing it. It's actually terrible for your heart. The thing is, your heart probably will shrink a little bit, but you're going to have an engorged heart. Because you're not doing it natural, motherfucker. You guys are doing it unnatural. So your body's going to maintain that flow because you're young. But as you get older and that, like probably in your 30s and that, you're going to start fucking dying. Because you're going to have fucking heart attacks. Like, this is the fuck, I see this shit all the time and that. It's a pandemic of the shit. Okay, well, people are out of control when it's not based upon law. And there's no punishment on stuff and that. People will literally fucking do black tar heroin and do fucking meth and shit. If people don't say, that's not good for you, that's fucking how stupid people are. Like, where's your morals at? You know it doesn't help. There's been proof that, like, smoking weed doesn't get rid of anxiety. Discipline and commitment and focus on stuff gets rid of anxiety. All weed does is cope you with the reality that you're in. You do small changes unless it's forced upon you. That's how people change. It says it in the Bible. God changed you by getting rid of something so you can grow. So for instance, say, like, for me, for instance, God got rid of the 2 girls that I liked a lot. One of them I was in love with, and the other one I started to fall in love with. They weren't good enough for me. So God ripped them out of my life and said, they're not good enough. You learned a lesson from that. But the whole point of it is that lesson was learned. And now I'm starting to rise in my life. I'm focused. I'm determined. Saying, hey, this is what I want to do with my life. And I'm doing it. I'm getting bigger. I'm getting stronger. I'm good. I'm making more money. I'm understanding how to have money in that. It's saying that none of that shit fucking matters. No, because I'll die in the constructs of things. That. But it's something to keep me going in that so I can have purpose in my life. That's how every life is, period. I don't give a fuck where you come from with that. You always have a purpose. I remember this one guy I was talking about that. He was a fucking doper. He was junkie, smoking weed all the time. That he's a fucking lazy ass dude. That he had a kid with some girl. And the girl was basically working. He's like, I don't want to work and all this stuff. Now, how do you buy that weed? Oh, my woman gets it for me. And I'm like, yeah, thank you, babe. You're worthless, man. And what's gonna happen to worthless men? Something's gonna be ripped out of your life to make you fucking grow. You had a kid. Your purpose was to have that kid. Because it happened. Things happen for a reason. And I told him, like, you're going to have to grow and go through the sacrifices and that for that child. And your purpose is going to be for that child because you don't have a purpose of your own. Well, now you do. And I told him that, like, now you have purpose. Get your fucking ass up and start doing shit for that purpose. Try to get a job that countermingles all stuff. Just like the people, like one of the guys I worked with and that, you know. I was like, why are you working at a job you can't get to on your own? I said, the main thing of a job is to be able to get there on your own. If you're relying on another hand to feed you, instead of feeding yourself, that hand has all the power in the world to tell you to fuck off whenever they want to. And when they do that, you're left with nothing. I understand, like, family and that. Family stays closer than, like, people you're, like, boyfriend, girlfriend with. I do not trust a fucking woman to have my hand and to keep my life stable. I fucking won't, because it never happens. They'll all leave you. At least nowadays. No one wants to go through the cycles of bad, like my ex. She did not give a flying fuck like anything. All she wanted to do is have sex, have a good, pleasurable time, and then she moved on to another guy. It's sad. It's like, why the fuck are you doing that? It's like, well, you're not good enough for me. You got nothing to give besides that ass. And like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, you do the bare minimum. I'm talking to her. Women do the bare fucking minimum. They don't even do anything. They believe because they show up and that your dick and balls gets fucking all juiced up and that they think they're done. I don't know if anyone taught you how a woman actually works, because you don't. That's what hoes do. That's what whores do. You got nothing to give besides your body. That's why you're called a whore. Because it never lasts as long, and you go from another guy to another guy. And all the guys you have sex with and that give you all these bad experiences, and then you go through a turmoil in your life and that when you're fucking and going into your 30s and shit, you're like, where's all the good men at? But I digress from that. But I was thinking of banning that, like, you can't. I said, I'd rather have you get a job that's close by your place so you'd be able to get to and get from than to sit there and have someone constantly doing that because you're relying on something that's hurting you. And when I see people are relying on everybody else, and like I rely on my family to take me to work and all that stuff, and that because I can trust them. You know, my mom's been retired for a while now. Hasn't been working, and my dad always tried to offer me to take me to work, and I said I want to do everything on my own. I said I don't want anybody's help. I pay rent and that. I want to do things on my own. That if I need help, I'll ask. I don't mind. But they're always offering. But they're always going to offer. So they establish a front in that. No, this is my own personal life in that. I've been, people that, sit there all day and like they're scared to go outside. It's all about fear. They're afraid to be part of something because they're so emotionally tied. They can't walk into a room of people with confidence and be like, I own this bitch. As soon as you walk into a room, you walk into a room and there's like 4 or 5 people in the room and that, and like it's an interview, you're walking in and you stomp in, you got that fucking finesse as a man, and you're like, I'm confident, cock and balls are fat as fuck and that, and I don't give a fuck. You walk in there and you sit down, and you like start watching like SpongeBob and shit. Yeah, people are gonna be like, what the fuck? What's wrong? You're laughing like SpongeBob. Yeah, but well, jokes aside, when you walk in with determination and confidence, people feel that. They feel that structure. Like, I own this bitch. And you haven't even got the job yet. You walk to the interview and that, you sit there, you stomp in, and you're jacked as fuck, and that you got muscle all over the place, and that you're sitting there, and you can get this job, and your forearms are bigger than the dude's fucking head. I'm just saying, it shows, because like one of the reasons why like the guy that I'm pretty much gonna be working with, he's telling me he saw me and he's like, wow, you got really jacked in that, you're getting really big. And he's like, how'd you do that? It's like I just eat a lot of fucking protein. He's like, oh, he's like, he talk about how he trusts me, and he's like, I think that you're responsible in that, but I don't know in that. I don't know it's because you're jacked in that, you got muscle in that. I'm like, I mean, right there, because of the physique, a little bit of change in that shows I'm capable of doing things that are really fucking hard. When you see string bean guys and that are, weak looking men, it's not to say they can't work hard. The problem of it is you don't look determined that you will. You'll leave the first notice of struggle. That's how women are in general. Because women are, technically, they look weaker than men. So when struggles come up, that discipline sometimes ain't even there. And they have a structural issue with all that stuff. That's why they have to rely on men for certain things. But nowadays they don't. It all goes back to the reliance and why we have such an emotional struggle with our life, and why men have all these problems. Because you're relying on a woman's strength, and the strength doesn't fucking exist. All those emotions that you should know better. Do your own fucking research. Do your own research on everything. And you don't talk. When you talk to a woman about how things are and feelings, that they make up all kinds of shit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Nothing's based upon actual logic. Yeah, they're home. So like, I talk to someone about their life and that. They tell me a little bit about their life and that, and they go through the structure of like a breakup or some bullshit like that. Hey. What? I mean, okay. I got $20. What? Actually, I don't even go out at all. My dad's so like money hungry. It's not even that, he's so like, I gotta wipe my shit off. I don't know what it is. I never like money. I never like having the power influence of it, because I don't care. Like, I don't like the power influence of anything. Like, even having more strength than someone. Power is meant for protecting people, not to sit there and abuse people. That's the biggest construct that I taught myself, and everybody should learn that. Power is there as a responsibility to protect others because you have power, not to sit there and be what they call a dictator and that, which they just use their power to influence people to do what they want them to do. Because like, without me, you can't have this and that. That's why the world's so shitty. That's the difference between tyranny and non-tyranny. The power structure. It's funny how it works, but that's how it works, though. So it's like, I'm stronger than most people, for the most part. It's like when I take my power into consideration and bully weak people and that, I'm like, oh, I'm strong and all that stuff. And anybody transform the weak people into strong people because they fucking hate me? Or can I do it in a gentler way and just say, hey, let's work out together. Let me show you the ropes so you can grow and become strong like me. Because everybody can become strong. That's the difference between a lot of different like ways that people look at life. It's all about these power struggles. Someone has more knowledge than you, which I would say most people have. 90% of people have stupid knowledge. They just have random shit like, oh, why do you care about all this stuff? Like, I was getting a conversation with one of the guys at work at that. We were just talking in general on that, and we kind of have the same mindset. You know, it comes down to like violence and that. We don't like violence and that. We think it's stupid and that. There should be more peace in that. I said, welcome to Jesus. You're on board to be blessed in the Holy Spirit, because that's exactly what Jesus wants for everybody. That's what Father God wants for everybody in that. And like, this person's kind of like in between. He doesn't really realize it. I said, once you give in to the glory, you're going to love life so much better. Because people think of God as like, oh, he's so wrathful, man. He does all this stuff and that. You look at all the negative sides because you have negative point of views. It's like, okay, why does God do things like that? Does he do it because he hates us, or does he do it because he loves us? Because death to God, it's nothing. He doesn't think of death being the same thing. He particularly knows from what the Bible states, from what Jesus speaks, that death is not the end. So you might be sorrowful, you might go through the emotional structures of death and that, but he doesn't look at death the same way we look at death, because he's the one that created death. He's the one that implicated death as our sins. We die because we're sinners, but then we're reborn again in the water, in the Spirit of Christ, and then we get eternity. People may not believe in that, so that's why we die. It's been implicated because we're fucking shitty people, honestly. But our hearts, our spirits are normally not the problem. It's our flesh. So, and that's why we have all these problems and that. And people go through all these constructs of life and then try to figure out, what is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? And you're all like, you don't know. It's like, you go back to people that do know. People back thousands of years ago actually knew the honest truth. Satan is real. If Lucifer is real, it means Jesus is real. If Jesus is real, it means the Father is real. If the Father is real, which means creation is actually real. And his words created everything. And like, or people look at God and think God being like this. Think of God as like he is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But it's always God first. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. He implicates the three because that's how we're made. We're made in their images. So we have the Father, which is man. You have the Word, which is, creation. And then you have the Spirit, which is what it delves into us in general. That brings us to life. So we were a vessel made from dust, and the Holy Spirit breathes into us. It wasn't God the Father that breathed into us. It was the Holy Spirit that breathed into us. And the Holy Spirit gave us the life, the breath of life. So then we rose from that. And that's the biggest thing that people don't understand, that like you have to go through how it actually works, the constructs of how God actually works, and a lot of things you're not going to understand because you're not supposed to. That's the whole point. That's our biggest sin, is knowing. And people would say, well, why is knowledge bad? Because if you gain knowledge, you're trying to be like God. You're trying to be like God. It's blasphemy. He doesn't want you to do that because he doesn't want you to be like him. The Father wants to do everything for you as a person. That is literally how he is. It speaks it all the time in Genesis. He wants you to be happy in greatness in life. He doesn't want anything else to be done. No technology, none of this shit's supposed to exist. We're supposed to live peacefully with all the animals and that, and eating fucking fruit from the damn tree butt-ass naked. Sitting there and banging each other and that, and making babies and that. That's what happiness is. He gives all these pleasures for a reason. Taste. The pleasures of sex. The pleasures of hearing, seeing, smelling, touching. All those senses are all pleasures. When you touch something, you feel a surface. When you touch something that feels good, like something soft, you feel that softness, right? Your skin can activate softness. It feels pleasurable. That's what God literally made us to be, is pleasure. He wants to see us in pleasure. But when we go into sin and we sit there and we keep doing the stuff that he doesn't like, most likely, he's going to try to pull us away from it and try to say, hey, this is like the best life that you have. You can have all this, the best life ever. Just chill out on the sins, Believe in my son, the word, which he died for all humanity. And that's a lot of people do not get. Jesus died for everybody. His love penetrated the creation itself so that everyone can enjoy life in paradise. And that's one of the main things a lot of people tend to not understand. People say, well, but question this, question that, question this, and question that. You can question God and get answers. Yeah, I question all kinds of things and that. Yeah, but the problem with it is, you're questioning all this stuff and that. And if you do have the knowledge, you're still not going to really know. I question, I ask God for wisdom, I ask God for knowledge and that. And the knowledge that I get, that I receive through my trials and experiences, that is basically how it is. Like, he just comes down to me and says, hey, I'm going to tell you all the stuff of that. It doesn't work like that. At least for me, it doesn't. I don't think God really talks to anyone through actual, voices. I think he's just the experiences you go through and that, the trials you go through that because you ask for it. So you go through that trial and you get from the experience of the world and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm going through a trial of making more money now. I always want to make more money. I always want to have a business or be part of a business and that where I know I have to work very little but make a lot of fucking money. That's the ideal life, because then I can rely on it. I can go to my hobbies and that. And if this works out like it's supposed to and that, and this guy starts paying me $700 a month, $700 a week and that, and he relies on me, starts giving me more money, there's a huge fucking chance. Like I said before, I'm gonna end up, probably quitting my job. And if this guy can maintain that, I say I want to be 100% with this, because I'll give you my word, but I want to make sure, because if I quit this job, that it's gonna harm them, and they have to go through a whole cycle of bullshit, and and I wasn't expecting things to happen this fast, but it is. So, this guy was gonna try to get me in the last couple of years to do this shit and that. Okay, it's getting close to 4. I need to drop anchor. Oh, I need a shit. But yeah, that's all it is. It's just, we gotta enjoy life for it. That's why every day matters. You can plan stuff like money thing in your head and that to understand, but the more or less likely the chances are you're not going to beat that expectation, because it's just a thought process. How many people think about winning the fucking lottery? And I never win it their whole entire life. What I could have did is, they could have focused. They could have focused on life. And focus on their goals and that, focus on their hobbies and that, focus on their job and that, focus on budgeting that. And they could have had enough money to make life better for them. And that's the main thing in general. That it goes over a lot of people's heads. I said that's one of the biggest things people pray for is wealth. They're like, my life sucks, and if I had money, it might be better. I said, your life sucks in that because if you have money, your life would be better now. But could you control the life that you would have created with that money? The struggle is what keeps you alive, is what keeps you in purpose. People that don't struggle in life, they lose hope very quickly. And a lot of those people end up dying early. Like kids and that, they're like spoiled brats for like multi-billion-dollar people and that, or millionaires and that. Unless they build up, instead of given the money that, they build up a business with their father, with their mother now, or with the family all together, and they make their own money based upon their works. When you make money based upon your works, more or less like you understand that you got to work for it. But if someone just gives you like $100 billion, or gives you like $100 million and says live your life, you structurally would not know what the fuck to do with it. And it's basically a parent that works their asses off because they love power with money. They're in like a power group, and they all talk about making money now. Like, I gave my kid $10 million. I say, I put in the account that. Just don't spend it all. And he probably has like hundreds of millions, like he's a billionaire or something like that. He's like, okay, Dad. So he goes around, he creates YouTube channels, and that he explodes like social media and that, buying a bunch of stupid shit and that. And then he starts making his own money and that, and then all of a sudden, he goes on like a mass drug addiction or something like that because he doesn't have no purpose in life. I learned not to care about money. Like, I like having it, but I don't put my mind into it, and that's what's kind of sad about a lot of people now. A lot of people are obsessed, and they're all broke. You're obsessed with money now, but you're fucking broke. Whew. A lot better.
I'm an Alexa scene from what? What madly with what actor goes with what joke?
Back off, bitch. You don't want none of me.
Oh, I see what's doing to another joke that doesn't make sense. I mean, there's no advantage. We might as well just watch smut at this point. Hey, where'd all the people go? Oh, it was a baby. The God, you established actor. This one seemed crazy compared to everything else.
Nice shot, asshole.
Okay, so every corner of the room has a different movie not being funny. Was that just the theme of the party? Well, I hope she gives birth to the plot. What better way to celebrate your super was Sweet 16 with a high school. Don't even try with an explanation. Just go, movie! You know, no promising characters blowing up. They sure are taking their sweet time.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you look so much better back there.
And overly written clever for clever's sake clips.
Huh. The mocking of film, who just makes random references and passes it off as humor. Wow! Look at that huge fucking hypocrite! I mean, if I ever get a hippo, that's the perfect amount of grit I would need for his pet. Can't leave it a note to get dropped off here from Asia. Sorry about the subject change. Anyway, this is Stu. Now, you could make the argument, should I be talking about that when I've done some similar jokes like this in the past? Well, one, yes, I acknowledge they're dated and didn't always work. Two, I at least had something to say about them. It wasn't just a reference. And three, it did take over 90% of what I was talking about. This just doesn't seem to care if it does that or not. In fact, literally, here's the only joke that almost brought a smile to my face.
Every time we made love, I was thinking about another guy.
Well, so was I. So most of this movie's ever gonna get from me.
The quake erupted a gas main and destroyed the ghetto. I can live with that.
Nonsense. Blazing Saddles has a movie dared to ask, why aren't we watching Blazing Saddles?
Asteroids are falling out of the sky.
Okay, so Will Napier, obviously the main character. So aside from that, who do you think the other leads are? It's impossible to tell who is constructed well.
Oh. Oh.
Who is just a throwaway joke? Okay, the black best friend is kind of a trope. The super bad boy? No. Musical kid? Carmen Electra got a whole bunch of screen time. Yeah, she's out. Oh, okay. Judah is the lead. Why not? And Kim Kardashian. Can't just say I watched the rest of them. The makers of the film clearly did for the movies they're spoofing. So desperate you'd have that pointless a reason for a little TNA when I talk about. Of course you
Oh my god! Hannah Montana's dead! Wow! It's Smash Mouth!
But she comes back to life to promote her merchandise. Was that popular thing to make fun of her for? This solid 2 minutes of joke seems to think so.
Revive your parents because you're official Hannah Montana Let's Somebody help us! Isn't there anybody that can help?
And even with a low bar of not trying in this movie, she is really not trying. Hey, Freebird. Yes, so I just saw a trailer for Hancock at Best Buy. What's the sound on? No. Yeah, put it in the movie anyway. In case you think I'm exaggerating, like, come on, they must have seen the movies they're satirizing. Hancock and this film both came out in 2008. But big deal, maybe one came out in January and the other came out in December. Like, that's still plenty of time to see a film, write some good jokes about it, really think about it, and put it into a movie, right? 10,000 BC, Jumper, Get Smart, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Dark Knight, Prince Caspian, Wanted, Iron Man, You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Sex and the City, and Kung Fu Panda all came out in 2008. That means not only do they have to watch all these, write the script, and film it in time for a premiere date at the end of August, but also get this all done for 3 more of these movies to be released the exact same year. One of them directed by the same duo. There is nothing AI can take away from us that we aren't already gladly sacrificing ourselves. Summer. It's great feeling the wind blow through the dots on your head that used to be your hair. It's also a great time to start building your credit. But you don't want to spend more time than you have to on that, because you can just be outside looking creepy. That's why the Sean Credit Builder Visa credit card. It has no annual fees, interest, or credit checks to apply. Use it everywhere Visa credit cards are accepted. And build credit using your own money. Yes, summer is so lush. Really being a crazy crackhead.
Actually, I'm just demented homeless kid who lives in the sewers.
How'd you end up there?
Drunk.
There's just one problem. It's still a disaster movie. Ready to step up? You mean like the first Step Up movie where they toss street dance? No. God, it's saying, wow, we really were in the heat of the night of our day, weren't we? Okay, Twister. Or Sharknado. I don't care. We can say we have more than one disaster flick in this. Or 20 to fill up our running time. Yeah, that's pretty much the next few minutes. Superheroes in their dollar store costumes show up and then go away. Whatever. Like a pair of didn't need that. Man, but let's really think about this. They had to poorly overdub that line because what was there originally, according to them, was bad. What the hell did he originally say to have that be the better replacement? Mussolini deserved another shot. Why? I guess in their own way, the Chipmunk movies were kind of disaster films. Every scene is a Family Guy cutaway. They just forgot to write the lead-in for. Boy, that Simon sure looked alive before he left. The magic of cinema. Oh, you had gold with this Chipmunk routine, huh? Not even joking. They go 5 minutes with them throwing these damn puppets. Yes, I could be upset, but I have to remind myself when one joke ends, another begins.
But I do have this terrible headache.
Head on, apply directly to the forehead.
Okay, so here's an example of what the scene is trying to do. In Young Frankenstein, Victor has to travel to Transylvania to take a train. When he finally gets to the station, he asks the boy, is this the station? And the boy says,
Yeah, truck 29. Oh, can I give you a shine?
no thanks. This is a reference to a song people knew at the time called the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Honestly, a lot of people still know it today. It's not a great joke, but it makes sense. He's traveling from one place to another. The plot demands it. So here's a cute joke that connects to that. Not only does this character have no reason to be here, there's mostly no reason for these characters to be doing anything or going anywhere or bumping into whoever they bump into. But the only reason they say she has a headache is so they can cut to this random commercial. This reference isn't great, but it does connect to a few things. This reference is awful, and it connects to nothing. It's just something you heard of. So audiences filled with people you love to spend time with can get together and say, yeah, get it? Because you saw it! Funny! Hey, whoever cooked the tick, you leaving too, Batman?
Shit. Yeah. I'm leaving. Okay, I don't want to die.
I'm not expecting much disaster movie. Clearly nobody is. But at the very bare minimum, I'm expecting something that looks at least a little better than what we could put together. It's dropping in a target? What is going on here? I had a woman one time tell me I was the top 4 best lovers she's ever had. That's a true story. Man, even with these references connecting to nothing, you're somehow finding a way to connect it even more to nothing. I'm not even able to say what's going on. There's literally no situations, just references to other movies. Fireball.
Indiana Jones?
Hell no, Kung Fu Panda. What's happening? All dogs go to heaven. I can literally go to a birthday character's agency and find a Kung Fu Panda costume that looks better than that. Most that looks better than that. Wait, Harrison Ford's not a little black guy. This film's saying what we're all thinking.
Hey, son. That's right. I'm your father.
Sure.
Whoa! Ready?
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather watch this thing, Chris. So, let's go. Now I finally have to say I'd watch Crystal Skull over something else. Dandy movie. They get the Crystal Skull back to its rightful place, and the world is saved. At least that's what the wiki said. I am actively trying to repress this movie even as I watch it.
I am the Guru Shifter. Do you take Amy to be your donut of love that you'll fill with cream every day?
And the Love Guru. That's it. You did it. That's literally every film ever made referenced in this movie. I tell a lie. It's every film but disaster films. The grand total of that is still 2. No, really. How did you do that? Even if you didn't call it disaster movie by accident, you get like 4 in there. Referencing clearly ties into everything we just saw and closes us out. I'm fucking that David.
You're fucking that demon?
And not even kidding. They were so convinced that they had something so clever that the audience would just be laughing so hard for so long about that they have the whole cast singing. But you need to drag out the film's running time? It doesn't matter. The film's only an hour and 15 minutes long, yet it feels like 15 hours and 1 minute long. It should be outlawed as a war crime. will forgive you. And that should not be released on your worst enemy. Yeah, okay. Everyone's right. This was pretty abysmal. It's bad for all the reasons you think it'd be bad, and even by that low setting, it finds a way to sink even lower. There is no level this film works on. It's not even a fascinating kind of bad. Okay, at first, it's a little intriguing how soulless and desperate it is, but it just keeps repeating the same awful over and over. I guess it serves as an unintentional beacon towards why parody classics like Airplane and Young Frankenstein and others are so well put together. They do have an understanding of what they're satirizing, and they use that understanding to form an attitude that says something funny about the material. As I pointed out earlier, though, how can you form an attitude around a movie you haven't even seen? You can't, so this film doesn't.
When are they going to just cancel The View? It's an awful TV show. There's no way their ratings are getting any better. Joy Behar tries to catch Arnold Schwarzenegger in a gotcha moment, and it completely backfires. Let's get straight off into this.
So, you're an immigrant in this country.
Yeah.
Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was impressed by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here at the age of 21 with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that. Every single thing, if it's my bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world, and it is the land of opportunity.
Love it. Love it. One thing that you can take from this, though, from Arnold, is it's something in sales that I learned. It's called spinning something positive. You can tell she's trying to catch him in like a gotcha mode. What do you think about all this? Do you have a visceral reaction? Already has a negative connotation on what kind of reaction or what kind of response she's trying to get out of him by preempting it with visceral reaction. You know what I mean? Like, this show is so bad faith. They always ask horrible questions. I've reacted to one a while ago with Matthew McConaughey, but this is beautiful what he did. He took the question, realized that it was trying to be a negative. You can tell Arnold's had a lot of media training because this is the perfect way to spin something positive. And then the other girl was like, yeah, that's right. What do you freaking know? You don't know his life. You maybe know him on screen, but you don't really know. That's true. That's really true. Yeah, you don't know. I just don't see how The View's even still around right now. Like, this show, does anybody watch The View? Any of you guys watch The View? I figured as much.
How about you?
I don't watch The View. I just respond to random clips like this. And I just thought this was a great example of Joy Behar trying to catch him in a gotcha moment, and he completely turns it around and gives a perfect example of spinning something positive. Let's get back into it. Whoopi Goldberg's like, man, I was really hoping you was going to craft the sheets on that one. But you didn't. She's like, yeah, I got to think of a response.
And I think because I'm such a proud American and a proud immigrant that came to America, I was asked to do, on July 4th, a big speech, the keynote speech at Mount Vernon. That George Washington was with the rest, where he lived and all that, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, the existence of America. And I will be doing the speech that they asked me because I'm an immigrant, and there will be 7,000 some people there, and there will be people that will be sworn in and will become citizens that day.
That's great.
So it's really a great celebration. This is what this is all about, is to celebrate.
I don't even know why they call this show The View. Whose view is it? It sure ain't mine.
Right. People becoming Americans and coming to America and all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal.
I agree with that. And y'all know we don't talk about a lot of politics here, but my whole stance on this is, as long as you do it by the process, I'm cool with it. You come over here, you want to work hard, great. Now I know I was granted, I was just born here, so I was, yes, was I lucky? Yes, but we all have to take the cards that were dealt. I was raised up poor, but still poor is relative because some of the, the rest of the world, I probably wasn't poor.
So right now we have a car coming in at 7, and I gotta go to work at 8. He's asked me if I want to come with him, and that I'm like, I mean, honest with me, I won't be making the work on time. But I'm getting the gist about what's happening. That. So basically, I'm thinking this thing that's happening now. I got a new thing going on with someone else. He's about to leave this Wednesday, and he says he's leaving for 2 months. I'm like, you're leaving for 2 whole fucking months, bro. I'm like, and you want me to basically take care of your business, and you're gonna pay me to watch over your business for the time being that until you get back. I'm like, I'm gonna try my best. All I'm gonna say is, as long as you're paying me in that, I'll do what I have to do to maintain it the best I can. It's not gonna be difficult, I know that, but there's certain consequences of the actions that might be taken sometimes. You know, I think about all the point of views in that. Nothing too hard. I'm just like, well, I want to work later on in the day. So, like, if something like this happens and, like, a car, like you said, car's coming in at 7, they're going to drop off the car and that. They're going to put the key in the lockbox and that. And then he's going to go over there. He lives, like, barely, like, 3 minutes away from the place where he's going at. Maybe 4 minutes, depending on, you know, stoplights and that. So he's going to go in there. He's going to, you know, probably drive it to a place like a car wash and that, somewhere close, I guess. I don't know where he can go to, honestly. Or he's just gonna do it right there and just clean it out and then get done with it and then, you know, do what he has to do. And like, I think about that, like, sounds like an easy ass job. But I want to make sure that I get everything down. It's not like I go to work and I work 8 hours. Like, I'm working 8 to 4 today. I'm literally working a whole 8-hour shift today. I might leave early now because it might not be busy after like 2 or 3, so I might end up leaving a little bit early now. Like, I'd rather do that so I can be able to go home and get good sleep and that and be able to recover that, because it's all about how much money you spend, not how much money you actually gain. You know, if you barely spend much money now, as long as your bills are paid for, that's all that matters. But yeah, oh man, that sandwich is so fucking big. Oh, went to Subway now, got me a big boy sandwich. Can't fucking finish it. But yeah, I'm probably. What time is it? Yeah, I got to like 7:30 now. I'm gonna chill out, digest. I think. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna lay back down again. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I just want to get on and talk about some things that. Anyway, God bless.